That's bad.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day, and I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes, likes the video, and turns on the bell for notifications. It really means a lot. Now, we have got a lot of updates and a lot of stuff going on today, even updates for the Fiero. So, let's start with that, because people have been super patient with this car, which I appreciate. There's a lot of people who are constantly in the comments, like, when are you going to get back to work on this thing? And very soon. Very, very soon. It started off, I was stuck waiting on parts for months. I was stuck waiting on the starter, which I'd say is a pretty important piece, for like 7 or 8 months, maybe even longer than that. And I couldn't just go out and buy my own. I mean, it was supposed to be with the oil pan that I bought, and he had a special machined block for it to make it work with this setup. So it's not like I could just go out and buy one and be like, whatever, I'll get my own piece, don't sweat it. Obviously, since the car has been running, that showed up. I actually got that from the Pickard Performance guys, so go give them some support. But there have been some other things here and there that I've wanted to change off and on. Obviously, it used to have a sheet metal, like a Amazon eBay sheet metal intake. That's no longer on this. I put that on the Dime a Dozen S10, which I need to get those injectors back here, hopefully pretty soon, so we can get back to work on this thing. So this is obviously an Edelbrock elbow that I've had on the shelf for years at this point. They were discontinuing it, and I got that for like $70 or something like that. So, been looking for something to put that on. Threw it on this because I picked up that EFI single plane intake for really cheap off Amazon. It was like $130 maybe. Just stupid little things that I was like, I'd like to change this, so I might as well just do it. And then little things like that have delayed the progress. Plus, I really seem to have like a severe case of automotive ADHD or something. So when this was down for like the 6 or 7 months where I was just literally stuck waiting on parts, and I could have done little things like patch a little rust spot on the floor, little things like that, obviously just lost interest in them. So I've been trying to get that interest back slowly, and we're just about there. Like I said, some things did show up for it, which does include this Aces EFI Jackpot unit. This is not sponsored, by the way. I mentioned a few videos back that I was curious about trying the Aces stuff, and a subscriber emailed me, and he was like, hey, I've got this. If you want to try it, I'll make you a heck of a deal on it. So this showed up a couple weeks ago. He said he took it off because he just wasn't happy with it. It wasn't really working quite right. Threw in a couple other things, like some V-bands. He did tell me that I need to get an oxygen sensor for it and something else, but I don't remember. So at some point, I'm still on the fence about throwing it on the Fiero. I'd like to put it in the Fiero because those have a built-in GPS speedometer, which would be perfect for this because some idiot cut the speedometer wires to the transmission like a dumbass. And I think having that whole display screen, because while I really like the Holley units, they have a 3.5-inch touchscreen, which works, gets the job done, a little dinky. The Aces, again, not a sponsor, they have, get the heck out of the way, they have this 5-inch screen. So it looks a little bit more like a dash. So, thinking about pulling all of this, all the stock ECU stuff off of this, and swapping the Aces on it. I would like to. Will I? Probably. Probably. And my shift cable clips finally showed up. And when I say finally showed up, I mean that I finally remembered to order them. These are from Rodney Dickman, which you Fiero guys are very familiar with the name. So I can get those on so that we would actually be able to shift the car, because one of these clips broke. Could have just made a new one out of sheet metal, but heck it. So yeah, there's a few little things here and there that I've got to take care of on this car. Fix the fuel line down at the tank. That popped off. And then a little bit of wiring here and there. Plumbing for the cooling system up to the water pump and the radiator and everything. Stuff like that. So, like I said, probably in the next few videos, we'll be getting back to work on this. Especially since it's going to be warming up here soon. And the Skylark here, I need to get this thing a little more buttoned up so that I can move it out of the garage and get the next vehicle I'll show you in here. Not mine, customer car. This is what we'll be messing with a little bit today. I'm going to pull the valve covers off, check the rockers, make sure those are all good, check the oil. I need to wire up the torque converter wire to the transmission, put some transmission fluid in it, hose clamps, and some coolant, and we should be able to pull this thing out of the garage under its own power. That's what we're hoping on. The 55, you've seen the videos with this recently. Damn, that thing looks cool. Even though it's a hard top, it just looks cool seeing a cage in the 55. I really appreciate that. Everything over here, this is a buddy's motor that he thinks he put a hole in the number 1 piston, and he's been having issues with the crank signal syncing, so he's like, this engine, the 6.0 has a good crank in it. Let's pull that one out, put this one in, put all Gen 4 internals in that, and put it all together. So the bearings and rings and stuff just showed up for that yesterday. So I'm going to be getting to work on that also. So as to the car that I got to move the Skylark out of the way for, we got ourselves another big rim car. We got ourselves another donk to work on. This is on some 30 4G autos. A little too big for me. I'm not going to pretend to be a culture vulture or anything like that, but I do appreciate these cars. And I think 26s are kind of sick on them. They fit really good. But this car has an aluminum-headed small block Chevy. You can kind of see it in there. That he just wants something a little more modern. So we're going to pull that and the transmission out. And he wants it LS swapped. So I was like, hey, man, if your money's green, I'll do whatever you want. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't fans of donks. That's fine. Something that you guys might be a fan of is I made a deal with the guy about that motor in that car. Like I said, aluminum-headed small block Chevy. And that is going to end up in the Chevelle. So as soon as I can get the Skylark running out of the garage, I can get this moved into the garage, and the entire engine, ignition system, MSD, distributor, box, everything, fuel system, everything from this is going into the Chevelle. So that'll be pretty cool. So let's pull the valve covers off the Skylark here, old Death Row, and see what we got going on, because hopefully it is just like a loose rocker or something that I can hear periodically. The engine seems to run smooth. It just makes a little weird noise that I'm not very thrilled about. Oh, and I forgot I got that fitting over there that's kind of leaky. I'll try something on that and see if I can get that sealed up. But yeah, I'm gonna pull the valve covers off, see what we can see. Moment of truth. What do we see? Yeah, kind of as expected. Everything looks fine under there. So. That didn't take long, at least. Alright, let's go to the other side now. I'm really hoping that it is, and that popping is such a satisfying sound. I'm really hoping that there is a loose rocket. Because if there's not, then I'm not really sure what else it is. Nope. What the fuck is that? You back in there? No! No! Why did you fall out? You ass. It does look like it was getting oil up here though. On both sides. Huh. So maybe there's just a junk lifter? Could be. Like it's just not pumping up or something. I don't know. Get on. Where are you? You silly little guy? Where are you? Waldo. There we go. Alright, now I gotta get that one that fell down into the abyss. Yeah, I guess it's just a bad lifter, huh? Well, that is not something that is going to get fixed right this second. I still go back and forth on if I want to sell this car or not. Like, one guy made a great point of it's not too often that you have two A bodies, right? I've got this and I got the Chevelle. But I've kind of got a lot of cars and I kind of don't need all these cars. So it's like we got the Fiero, the 55, the Skylark, the Chevelle, the red truck. We got Jack that I'll just add to the list. We've got another vehicle that we just picked up a few days ago, not for me, for Pops, that we'll probably put a video out on here soon. That is going to be very hit or miss. I'll just say that right now. It's going to be very hit or miss on how people feel about that one. But it'll do everything that he wants it to do. So I've been thinking that I could get rid of the Skylark, I could get rid of the red truck, so that I just have, for me, because the Fiero, technically my wife's car, so for me, I would have the 55 and the Chevelle, and the diesel, but that's, you know, whatever. So, get rid of the Skylark, get rid of the red truck, the red shop truck. I've been debating on getting another NBS and doing kind of like a Goldie Hawn 2. I think that could be fun. I don't know. We'll see. Just kind of thinking out loud here. But, like I said, there's nothing wrong with having 2 A-bodies. Next order of business, hose clamps, coolant in the radiator, now that we have the water pump circulating. Not going to really worry about the fans just yet. It's pretty hot out. We're not going to be cruising this car. Or it's pretty hot out. It's pretty cold out. Quite the opposite. So, we can get that in it. Need some transmission fluid, so I can go pick up some coolant, transmission fluid real quick. Need the torque converter. Probably just hook that to 12 volt for now. That way it's not locked up. And call that good. And then should be able to move this thing. Oh yeah, we gotta check to see if that fuel leak is fixed. Fingers crossed. Kind of a mystery. But to start, I'm going to go get some coolant and some transmission fluid. I don't know how much. Theoretically, it shouldn't need a whole lot of transmission fluid. The transmission had some, the converter had some. Doesn't it even show on this dipstick? No. We got a dribble. So yeah, I'm just going to go get a gallon of transmission fluid, coolant. That way we know they're good. And hopefully move this thing under its own power when we get back. Man, the prices of things just continue to shock me. 2 jugs of coolant, and they didn't have a gallon of transmission fluid, so I had to buy the 4 quarts. Whatever. That was $70. Like, what the hell? I mean, I could have, like, driven to a store further away and gotten it cheaper, but then, like, I'm driving so much further and using up so much more gas and so much more time that it's like, what's the point? $70? Even if I had gone, like, to the next town over where they've got bigger stores, like Walmart or something, it probably still would have been, like, $40 or $50. That's just crazy. Like my boy James Brown used to say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So, I can put the hose clamps on, fill the flab with the flaw, and then blah, but I've got to find my funnel with the attachment on it to go into that. Because I'm an idiot and I'm using one of those stupid Amazon dipsticks. Where is this thing? I've got like 5 different funnels for like 7 different things. Is it in the red truck maybe? Uh-huh. No, but I did find another funnel. So that's cool. Are you kidding me? You're joking, right? Okay, it's empty. Okay, so now we're up to 8 funnels. Yeah, I got one of these that I fit the little thing that comes with those dipsticks around it. Where the heck did I put it? I'll put you there for now. Well, I have been looking for my funnel with that little fitting on it for probably 10 minutes now. And I have no idea where that friggin' thing is. But I can tell you that the second I am done finagling fluid through a funnel, butted up against that thing, pressing as hard as I can so it doesn't leak, as soon as I'm done filling the transmission like that, I will turn and I will see it just like hanging from the hoist or something. Because it'll be super obvious that I see it. No. This is it, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. No, that's a different one. Okay. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? No, because I'm pretty sure the one that I have is black. I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, I've got this one ground down. That one doesn't work worth shit. Enough wasting time. Let me just get this thing in there and figure it out. Not really thrilled with it, but we'll see how it goes. I am predicting very quickly a big mess. Start off slow. Seem to be doing good. I'm pushing this funnel really hard against this thing because I don't want to make a mess everywhere. There's one. All right, let's just go for the gusto now. We're way overconfident, so we're just gonna go for it. Just fill this thing to the brim and trust that nothing bad's gonna happen. Every little thing is gonna be all right. In the words of Jesus Christ, I shot the sheriff. All right, so we're not checking it running. But I just want to... Alright, that should be enough for now just to get the thing running and should move under its own power. If it slips a little bit, we got 2 more we can add. But that should put us pretty close in the neighborhood. Because like I said, the transmission, I never drained it. When I got this, they pulled it out of a running truck. Like we went to Regal Auto Parts, sponsored, go check them out. Awesome guys. They pulled the truck in there while we were there picking up a motor, pulled the transmission out. So I know it works. And they never drained the fluid as far as I know. I never drained the fluid. The torque converter came out of Goldie Hawn and still had fluid in it. So it shouldn't have been that low. We don't know for sure. So we're just gonna go for it. And that should be pretty darn close. That should put us right in the neighborhood of needing to put some more in it. Kobe. We'll count that one. Kobe. Damn. All right, let's get these out of the way. And hose clamps. Hose clamps. I just got a bag of them the other day. We've got 3/8 to 5/8. Obviously not going to need those. 1 inch to 1 5/8, and 1 3/16 to 1 3/4. So we need 6. Ooh, don't you be falling on me. I'm worried about this fitting the bottom port. Will it? Won't it? I don't know. I feel like there was something else that I was gonna say a second ago, and I just do not remember what it was. And now it's gone forever. Never to be seen from again. Oh, no, I remember what it was. That, if I had gotten the motor out of that donk when I only had this car and before I started the LS swap, I probably would have just put that in here. Because that's a badass motor that I'm pretty stoked on. Why does he want to LS swap the car? I don't know. Transmission lost forward, or lost drive, or something. So he said, heck it, let's LS swap it. Which, I mean, I'm fine with. I like making money. Got that the opposite way that I want it. I want it down so that it's kind of out of the way. You are such a douche. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, I kind of think that that Chevelle is going to become people's favorite car now, especially since it's going to stay small block. Which I'm fine with, because I think that Chevelle might be my favorite car too. And I might cut the cage out of it, because I'm not super thrilled with the cage that's in it. I don't know. It kind of doesn't need a cage. Like, there was someone that commented on the last video where we were putting the cage in the 55. There was someone that commented on that saying, I thought you were just going to drive this car around, put the kids in the back seat, blah, 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 no cage. And that car has always been the idea of kind of like a drag and drive car. Like I said when I very first picked it up, 55s have always been race cars to me. But the Chevelle, I don't know. I need a bigger hose clamp over here. That's the one that I was worried about. Yeah, so the Chevelle is just kind of like a badass hot rod that you just want to cruise around in, you know? At least that's the vibes I always get from them. Like with the 55, most people either like American Graffiti or Two Lane Blacktop. Both amazing movies. You know, with the Chevelle, pretty much any like 68 to 72 is Wooderson, you know, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. That kind of vibe. You're just throwing your buddies in the back seat, cruising. So that'll probably be more of a full interior, like I said, old school small block Chevy. I can't wait to actually show you guys the motor that's in that car. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's very exciting. I'm thrilled about it. When I was first told about it, I didn't really believe that it was what it was. So I checked the block and I was like, it is at least this. That is exciting. And everything else that I could see, I was like, man, this is just too good of a deal to pass up. And that Chevelle would be perfect for it. So, got the hose clamps all on. I don't know if I got this one very tight. I still have to make a thing for this. That's not super urgent. It's not really going to be able to fall out of the car, so not super worried about that right now. We can throw the, hopefully this doesn't leak, it shouldn't. We can throw some of the coolant in there, antifreeze, and hook that torque converter wire up to 12 volt, I think. Does it need a 12 volt or ground? I need to double check that. And that will keep the torque converter unlocked. Because what it is when the 4L80 is obviously a lock-up transmission. So when you're cruising on like highway speeds or whatever, it locks the converter, you get better RPMs while you're just cruising. And then when you hit the brake, it unlocks the converter so that the engine doesn't bog out and stall. So we can just hook it straight to, I think it's 12 volt, but don't quote me on that. We can hook it straight to 12 volts so the converter just stays unlocked for now and worry about that. All I gotta do is run power to the brake light switch and hook that to the other side, and that's taken care of. But like I said, for now, not really worried about it, just want to kind of bypass it so that we can check out some of the more important things on the car. Dazed and Confused is what I was trying to think of. That's the one. Man, I haven't watched that in probably like 15 years. Very good movie. Since we are on the topic of movies, I think that my favorite movie, and this is something I was thinking about a couple days ago, I think my favorite movie is probably Big Lebowski. Just hate the fucking Eagles, man. And, you know, if you're not a fan of The Big Lebowski, then clearly you're not a golfer. I think that The Big Lebowski is just, I think it's one of the funniest movies, man. We might have to do the thing where we fill the block through the top radiator hose. But for now, I just want to get this deal all filled up. Yeah, because with LS's having the thermostat on the lower radiator hose, a lot of times what you have to do to get all the air bubbles and stuff out is fill the block through the upper radiator hose. Kind of a dumb design, but once all the air pockets and everything are out of it, it just works great. Ah, fuck. Oh, she's a leaking. She's a leaker. We got a leaker. Yeah, looks like it's coming from the water pump. Dang. That. You asshole. There. Got that in there lightning fast. That way we didn't waste any of our coolant. Lightning fast. Jeez. Alright, so that's annoying. That's one thing that really sucks about the first few times you get vehicles running up here in the colder states is I don't want to deal with putting water in it to check for leaks and then draining all the water back out and putting coolant in it. So sometimes you're like, you know what? I have the confidence that it'll probably be fine. Let's just put coolant in it right away. And then stuff like this happens, and you look like just such a buffoon. Well, I got all the bolts tightened up more. Not super confident in it still. And I don't want to waste a bunch more coolant. So I might pull the water pump off and do the old RTV on each side of the gasket and then rebolt it back up trick. It's kind of an advanced maneuver, but it might be just what we need right now. Crack you loose. Hell yeah. Put you right there on our workbench. That's, whoop. Interesting. I know I pulled these spacers out. Did I not put one of the gaskets back in? You're not the right size. I'm gonna be so befuddled if that's what it is. Let's get you out of the way. Let's get you out of the way. Thank you. So I don't use harsh language that often on the channel, but if I just somehow left a gasket out, I'm going to be very befuddled. Very befuddled. I know. Get the children out of the room. All right. So you guys come with me. You can just chill. Kind of. You kind of can't chill, can you? Are you the size? That is a son of a biscuit, man. battery's disconnected, so I can set you over there. Now, I can pull you off. Alright. Get you out of there without dropping you into the void, never to be seen from again. Wow, my back's starting to hurt, man. Jeez. You'd almost think that this was kind of taking some effort. Jeez. Oh, into the void. Gone. Alright. There goes our other gasket. So, water pump is now free. Let's see what we had going on. What did we have going on? It must have just been something hitting somewhere. Oh yeah, I see. The bolts for the water pump were hitting. Yeah, this water pump has these bolts here to hold the back cover on. And you can see right there and, come on, focus, right there and in the middle there where they were hitting. Alright, easy fix. I will just drill holes through the timing cover. I can take the water pump over to the bench, grind the heads of the bolts down, because they're pretty big. We can cut them in half. And that is that. So, you remember, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes ago, where I said that I need to make those radiator upper mounts, so if the radiator doesn't go anywhere?
I still have to make a thing for this. That's not super urgent. It's not really going to be able to fall out of the car.
Well, once this genius pulled the water pump off and disconnected those radiator hoses, there was no longer anything holding the radiator in place. And all those bolts and sockets that I put in particular places just kind of flung all over the fucking place. God, idiot. Oh, and I dented the radiator itself is fine. I can bend that back, but it's like, dumbass. Well, got the water pump over to the bench. Let's go take care of that. All right, got it all back together. Finally, belt's tightened. Everything seems to be good. The RTV has pretty good squish. I tried taking a picture from the underside, and it looked like the bolts weren't hitting. So let's top this whole thing off with the remaining $3 worth of coolant that we got. Everything is back in place. I have the steam vent line just running under the cap for now. Not the ideal way to do it, but it'll get us by for now. And eventually I'll make a port under here to run it to, or maybe on that side. That way it'll be a little bit cleaner. But for now, like I said, it'll get us by to where we can now hook the battery back up and fire this thing up. Let's go. Leaking? Just a hair. 92 degrees. Idling about 800 RPM. I think I'm hearing a lifter. A little bit of blow by too. Which this is just a mystery motor that I got on a package deal. So it's like worst case scenario, I pull it out and swap another one in. What's going on back there? There's just something not quite happy. Well, I was hoping that we would get things kind of a little more situated in this video, and then maybe in the next one, take it down the road for its first drive. But there's just something up with it, and I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, worst case scenario, we pull this motor out and just stuff another one down in there. And I think that is pretty much worst case scenario. Because we've got everything else pretty much figured out on it. We just have to work the bugs out of it, which is by far the most annoying part of the build. Like, the exciting part is putting the engine in, making the exhaust system, the paint, getting it looking good. And then all these little details of, like, forgetting the steam vent line, you know, little leaks here and there, just stuff like that. Just, ugh. But in the, I don't know, like 8 minutes or so we had it running, it only got up to 112 degrees, so that's pretty cool. So the radiator is radiatoring. That's good. So that will do it for today's video. Like I said back at the beginning, thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. Hitting that bell for the notifications is actually a very important thing. I appreciate all you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.